Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got another Power Rangers Legacy review for you. I have the Black and Gold Edition Legacy Dragonzord. This is a limited black edition right here. Really cool looking. So if you don't know already, they released the Mighty Morphin Megazord and the Dragonzord, both in the Legacy line. Both really cool. And then they decided, you know what? As if the Megazord, you know, I mean, it's pretty sweet as is, but why not release it in this really cool looking black and gold color scheme, right? So now we have this really slick looking black and gold Legacy Megazord, but you have the regular Dragonzord to go with it. And yeah, you can combine them, Zord Builder, all that fun stuff, but like, why not release a black and gold Dragonzord? And that's exactly what they did. So we finally got it, and I'm just getting around to opening this up, which I'm really excited about. So move these out the way. I want to take a quick look at the box. We'll open it up, and then I'll show you a detailed review, and I'll combine it with the black and gold Megazord as well. So here it is right here. It's basically the same packaging as the Legacy Dragonzord release, just black and gold. So as you can see, limited black edition Dragonzord, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo, ages 15 plus. This Legacy item really is geared towards collectors with all the die-cast metal and everything. So it says black and gold color premium die-cast in the corner right there. Really cool looking box. 11-inch articulated tail. So pretty cool. Exclusive to Toys R Us, at least for now. I know a bunch of Legacy items are only Toys R Us exclusive for a short period of time. I don't know if that's the case with the Dragonzord or not. Here's the little story right here if you wanted to pause the video and read that. You have some detailed information on the Dragonzord. You can pause the video and read that. And then the side of the box also has more story stuff. You can pause it and read that. And yeah, then the back of the box, of course, again, shows you it right here. Shows you the Legacy Megazord and how you can combine it as well. Really cool. So that's the box right there. Pretty sweet. So let's get this open and see what it looks like. I'm excited. It's always fun unboxing the Legacy items. I don't usually do this for my Power Rangers reviews, but for the Legacy items, I always try to, because I want to kind of see with the premium quality that these are. It's always cool to kind of get the first reaction to these items. It's always fun. So, all right, what do we got here? We got some instructions, of course. Okay. Ooh, that looks cool. One thing I can already immediately notice, which already kind of bugs me, is the gold is different than the gold on the Megazord. It looks cool, but it's already bugging me a little bit because I can already foresee this combination together being a little odd because of that. So that's a little disappointing to me. But let's just get this open. Okay. So we have the tail, which of course opens up and so on. So I'll take a closer look at all these items a little later. Oops, I'm dropping stuff here. Got the hands right here. So here's the type of gold, as you can get an idea, the shade of gold. And the rest of the hands here. So you have two hands like facing like this, and then two hands kind of like this. So there you go. Okay. You have, I believe this is the tip of the tail, so this really shows you kind of the gold color right here. So just to kind of briefly show you the difference, definitely a clear difference in the type of gold they used on these two Megazords right there. Now, it almost makes me wonder if they're going to re-release the Megazord in the new gold color or not, because that's very like Bandai to do that and screw over people that bought the original release. I love Bandai. They're great with the Legacy line. They're awesome, but sometimes they do that. They release things again with like slightly different shades of certain colors and things, and it's like you couldn't just get it right the first time, you know? You got this little piece right here. And then of course, the main body right here definitely has nice weight to it. That die-cast metal really gives it that weight. All right, ooh, look at this. Look at that. That is shiny. I love shiny. Oh my goodness. I'm like so afraid to touch it because I'm gonna get my fingerprints all over this thing. Oh, that's great. And instead of the green, they have red, which really gives it that extra like dark flare to it in a way, which looks really cool. So really, really shiny. I dig that, but you can definitely see already the slight differences in the gold. So we'll see how it looks. I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna combine it and see how it looks, but definitely slightly different shade of gold, but it looks really cool. I dig that. So anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna kind of mess with all this and see how it goes, and then I'll show you a detailed look at the Legacy Dragonzord, the black and gold edition, and I will combine it with the black and gold Megazord and take a look at that combination as well. So let's get to it. All right, I got the limited black edition Legacy Dragonzord out of the packaging right here. This thing looks really cool. I dig the shininess, the gold, the whole black and red and gold color scheme just looks really, really cool. So I really dig that a lot. So let's move that box out of the way and we can kind of take an up close look at this Dragonzord. So first up, let's start at the top right here. Really, really cool looking. To really get the full difference here, then the full appreciation, I'm actually going to bring in the regular Dragonzord right next to it as well. So that way you can kind of compare and see the differences. So immediately you notice that all the silver on the regular Dragonzord is now gold. This gold is now red up here. You still have the red eyes. On the side here, you know, gold. You got black instead of green there. So they kind of really changed up the colors a little bit here, all over. But it looks pretty cool, definitely. Going down to the chest piece here is where you really see some of the differences. So the red circles are the same there, but everything else is pretty different, aside from the little gold in there. But instead of the silver, you have this really, really shiny gold. Shinier than like up here, so it's kind of a slightly different gold they use right there. Instead of the green, you have just black going down here, which looks really interesting. And then down here, you have the little green piece, but instead you have red. And then again, instead of silver, you have gold. Green is just black. You know, now you have a little gold here and black here, so it's two different colors versus one color for the foot. Gold hands. On the side you can really see. So and this one had a bit more of a contrast in colors, and here they kind of really just stuck with a black and gold scheme for the most part, aside from little bits of red throughout. And then for the tail, you know, mostly silver with a little bit of green, you have mostly black with a little bit of gold, and then instead of a silver piece, you have a gold tail piece right there. So you can really kind of get a feel for the level of shininess and the colors that they really changed up on this thing. So the mold is the exact same. The die-cast metal is in the exact same places, so I'm not gonna get too caught up in all of that. You can check out my review of the Legacy Dragonzord to really get the full details of that. You know what to expect because it's the exact same thing. So just side by side real quick. You know, there it is right there. You know, if you're wondering which one to get, if you can only get one of them, my personal preference would be the original because it is the original and I really like the original color scheme. That being said, if you can afford it, if you can get it, this black and gold color scheme is really, really cool. I was skeptical of the color scheme when the Megazord came out, and then when I got it, I loved it. And so I was excited about this black and gold Legacy Dragonzord scheme right here. So I think that's really cool, and I dig that. So for comparison's sake, I do have the black and gold Legacy Megazord as well. So I wanted to kind of put those two together. So again, here it is. And you can see the slight differences in gold, right? So the gold on the Megazord is kind of more of a muted gold. It's not as bright necessarily, whereas here it really shines and is brighter. So, you know, I kind of exaggerated a little bit when I first saw it and saw the differences, but together it's not too different. It's not too bad, but it is noticeable. So that is one kind of little downside to it. It is a little noticeable different, but it's not too different. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyways, we'll move that out the way for a second because I want to show you one other little thing before I get to the transformations, and that is the other hands. So I'm going to swap the hands because in order to fold them in, I think you got to have the other hands in place. So you can basically pop this out, and instead of the curved hand right there, you have the flat hand, basically. So this can just go on right here, okay? And I'll do the same on the other side. Pop this on like so. Okay, so there we have that. Now there's a couple different modes that you can transform it with the Legacy Megazord. So I want to show you those transformations. So first up, you got this little battle mode here. So I'm gonna take out the shield and sword from the Megazord. Let's start taking this thing apart. So basically, the arms come off, and the legs come off. The pterodactyl comes off. This piece folds back. Pull down the tail, and this actually comes off. And then this whole back piece as well comes off. So you're left with this, okay? So we'll move that to the side. Now, with all these pieces lying around, we're gonna go over to the Legacy Dragonzord now, okay? And so for the Legacy Dragonzord, you're actually going to pop off the tail, okay? And with the tail, you're going to push in all little pieces so it's just one straight piece like so. Okay, now here, we're basically going to pop it open, and this piece comes out. So we'll move that to the side, okay? Then we're gonna close this back up, like so. We're going to fold this in. I'm not gonna focus too much on showing you all the little ways you fold it, because again, it's the same way to transform as the regular Dragonzord, okay? This part slides up. I think this especially looks really cool with the shiny black and gold. Like that just looks really, really awesome there. So I dig that, definitely. Then you also have the little helmet piece goes down, so you can see the face right there. Okay, and then here you're going to fold this up, and this is going to go in like so. Same here. Okay, so it's basically going to look like that. These do hold a little bit better than the regular Dragonzord. I know that was a huge pain on that. So these do hold a little bit better, which I do appreciate. So that is definitely a good thing. Okay, then we're going to pop on the Triceratops and then the saber-toothed tiger right here. Okay, and it stands like so. Go to the back, and we're going to take this little piece from the back of the Megazord, and it's going to slide in and then close these on so it clamps to the sides. So that then allows us to basically take on the arms right here. And that's the wrong way. It goes this way, and then this way right there. Okay. And then, last but not least, you move this to the side. You don't use this for this transformation here. But you have this little piece right here, so you're going to open it up. You're going to take the tail and click it on top like so. And then there's another piece that we haven't used yet, which is this, and that's going to go in like so. And then from the back, you open this up, pull out the little handle, kind of curve it down a little bit because he has to hold it like so. And here you have this contraption right here. I forget what this is called. Is this? I think this is the battle mode or whatever you want to call it. But it's really hard to get it all on camera in one shot. But it looks really, really cool. I dig this a lot. I think this combination Looks really cool. And the whole thing about the different shades of gold and stuff. So this shade of gold and this shade of gold are different, but you really don't notice it too much because the Dragonzord gold is really at the front. The other stuff is kind of in the back a little bit. And it works. It just works. It's not, you know, there's nothing about it that looks super odd or clashing or anything. But just overall, I mean, this just looks really, really cool. You got that nice little weapon in the front there. I love the little shield here. It looks really cool. Just all around, just really neat looking. So I dig this combination. I think it looks great. You know, from different angles and stuff, you can kind of see him holding the sword this way. That looks pretty cool. So I dig that. Just all in all, just a really, really cool mode right there that you can have. Like, that just looks awesome. So that is one of the modes, okay? And there's another mode that you can do to transform it that also involves basically the combination that basically goes on Titanus as well. So I want to show you that transformation. So let's take off this, fold it in, and we'll put this to the side. So we're left with this right here. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to basically pop off the arms like so, pop off the legs like so, and we'll put the Dragonzord down to the side. Now we're going to bring back the T-Rex here and pop back on the usual Zords. This is going to attach back on like so. Okay, so this is what we're left with our Megazord. I'm leaving the pterodactyl off because it needs to stay off. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold the horns back, fold that down like so. I'm going to fold this down, fold the arms down there, and then we're good for now. For now, at least. Actually, also, I would pop down the tail so it's down like that. Okay, so we'll move that to the side. Now back to the Dragonzord. We're going to pop this open. You can push up the helmet so the mouth is closed. Okay. Now you're basically going to flip it open like so. Okay. So it's kind of like this. And essentially, it's mostly transformed already. Essentially, you're just going to take this and sort of slide this back, sort of plop this onto the Megazord right here, kind of like that, sort of. But the one other thing you're going to have to do is these little clamps here you're going to slide out. Now, if you saw my review of the Legacy Dragonzord, you know that this is the part that frustrated me. It was really difficult to get sliding on. It kind of damaged the helmet of the Megazord a little bit. Really annoying. The design of this Megazord is the same, so that has not changed. I think I've gotten a little bit better at doing it, so it's not as bad because I've kind of figured out a little bit better way of doing it. However, the clips on here, I don't know if it's purposeful or not, are really bendy a little bit, and it almost like started to break a little bit, and I had to be very careful of these clips. So you got to be very careful of these tiny little clips that go down here. You don't want to break them when you're trying to set it onto the Megazord. So this part is a little challenging, so bear with me as I try and attach this on. So let's see if I can do this. So you just kind of slide it on like this, okay? And then you got to be very careful with it as you try and slide it through where it needs to go. Oops. The challenge is also getting these little pieces down here and putting it over the shoulder there. Okay, putting it there. Almost. This piece needs to go. It's this part right here in the center that doesn't always go down super easily, and that becomes a bit of a challenge. So this can go up like so. I have to just kind of slide in the horns through the back there. It's a little bit of a pain. Gosh. All right, let me see. I don't want to break anything too, so it's... Okay, I think it went down. Yeah, they slid out. Okay, so now that it's down, Sorry if the camera got blurry. It's really difficult to focus that and do this too. And it's all black, so you can't really even see what's going on. There's a little knob here, and you just have to push it down and click it into place. So it did that. I'll just push up the tail there. Okay, back to the front. Now that that is settled in there, this piece kind of fell down. There we go. You just push this back up like so. Okay. And then we need to bring back the pterodactyl piece like so. And that is the combination right here. It's annoying, definitely. I think they fixed a little bit of the problems. On the other one, it used to really lean a lot, but it was mostly because of the joints here. And so they fixed the joints. They actually re-released the Legacy Megazord with the updated joints, and I actually got the updated one to definitely make it better so it doesn't like fall over as easily. But this top part and connecting it is such a pain. And after this review, I probably will never do this combination again because I'm always afraid of breaking something every time I do this combination. So I really do not like doing this combination. I did it for you, for this review, so you can see what it would look like, and I will never do it again. I like the other combination of the two that I just showed you. That battle mode was really, really cool looking. So that's what I will probably do. But here it is right here. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Honestly, you know, I think the if you can only get one of the Legacy Dragonzords, I would still go for the original just because of the you know, show accurate color scheme. Otherwise, the black and gold one looks really cool. And yes, even though there is a slightly different gold they used, honestly, you don't really notice it that much here. It kind of all sort of blends together pretty nicely overall. So I think, you know, I think it looks pretty cool overall, and I dig it. So you're still going to have some of the same problems that you did with a normal Dragonzord. That's not going to be that different. So do keep that in mind. Unless you were one of the ones that bought the early Megazord or the early, you know, Dragonzord before they fixed like some of the joint issues and stuff. Then you'll see an improvement here, but they did fix them again with the original releases anyways. So here it is right here. That's the combination. I think it looks cool, all things considered, when combined. I especially like the other battle mode, as I mentioned. But that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this black and gold Dragonzord and this combination here as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later. Thank you all so much for watching. Just as a little bonus thing at the end, I wanted to show you this combination on Titanus. Yes, I know there's other stuff that you have to do to fully transform it and the chest piece and all that stuff. I'm not going to bother with all that, but you get the idea, just to give you how the color scheme looks with it all. You know, the black and gold does look pretty cool on the Titanus, so I do dig that at all. If they released a black and gold Titanus, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I feel like that would just be overkill, black and gold, and to be honest, I don't think they're going to, because Titanus already was a hard sell with the cost and everything that it had, so I don't think they're gonna do another version of it anyways, which I'm kind of glad about, or at least my wallet is. But this combination does look pretty cool though anyways. The black and gold Dragonzord and Megazord combo with Titanus looks pretty neat. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this review. I got lots more Power Rangers reviews on the way, so hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.